basic stance. Let's spread out through our feet. Each of the toes, lift them up and then place them one at a time down. Evenly spaced throughout. And the feet are about hip width apart. Let's bend through knees. Bring the hips under into neutral. Use your pelvic floor muscles to do that. Lift through your rib cage, upwards and outwards on diagonal. Nice open, bright chest. Bring the shoulders forwards and up. Bring them back and down. I thought something looked different. Give me one sec. I've been busy masterminding all of this tech and I forgot about this one over here. And then let's align through the spine. Deep breath in, expand the belly with the breath. The ribcage expands, collarbones rise. Suspend the breath, and in your own time, we're going to release that down. And now I'm going to encourage you to find your own movement medicine tonight. Allow the movements to be adapted naturally to what your body would really like to receive from this moment. Take a moment perhaps to tune into any areas of tension that you have. Any areas that feel deeply relaxed. Let's bring the hands up overhead and back down. Up overhead. Bring them back down. So let's now begin to move in a circular motion through hips. And again, let's in this session for right now, let's make those movements very open and free to flow as your body sees right for you right now. So this can be a really gorgeous movement for releasing through your back, low back, mid back, for beginning to bring movement to the hips, or maybe if you've been spending lots of time sitting lately, or you've been just out of your regular routine, this can be really nice to begin to bring stability and comfort through your whole system. Invitation to bring your hands down to your hips. Really feel into that movement as it flows. Perhaps you could experiment with making that movement bigger. Good. Let's try the other direction. Slide out to the side, bring it forwards, all the way round and to the back. Small movements to begin. Always seeking to increase from there, rather than going in for the full expression of the movement right at the beginning. Ease yourself in, see how that feels. From here, we're going to go into a figure of 8 movement. Bring the hip on diagonal, twist round towards the back. Slide forwards on diagonal, top corner of the room, twist through your waist, bring it round towards the back corner. Slide forwards, twist back. Slide and twist. Slide and twist, slide, twist, slide, twist, slide, twist. You could allow your arms to carry the flow of that movement beyond the movement of the hips. Let it radiate outwards like a rippling effect in the ocean. Top. Wow. Bring hands down. So this is with the slide. Now into figure of 8. Forwards, twist back. Slide forwards, twist. bring it into center here. This time we're gonna bring the hip down and up and round. This time a figure of 8 vertically, traveling up and down. You could dance this one out against a wall. It's flat. So rather than moving on a horizontal plane where the hip comes forwards and back, it comes directly up and down. And your hips are in neutral as you come into that movement. Use pelvic floor muscles to help you keep the hips neutral in there. Through your upper half, we're going to anchor through upper half. You bring your hands out in front to help you do that. Now, if I could offer you a few tips on this one. If you sit right down into the movement, make sure that your knees remain behind your toes. So as you sit down, you don't come forwards like this. You come back and down. So you've got this nice straight back all the way through, and you're sitting down into the movement. It's neutral. And from there, you're bringing it all the way around. So you're going to use your knee as the lever for that movement. You're going to bend all the way down. So you've got, in your basic stance, as you start this movement, you've really got a big, deep bend through there. Hold that bend, and from there, bend through one knee first. And you're going to slide diagonally down, all the way up and round. As you get to the top of that movement sequence, you've not fully extended through the knee. There's still a bend in there, small bend to protect the knee joint. From there, you're going to slide down the other side, lengthen through your waist, bring it all the way up and round. And as you bring that up and round motion, not only do you have this up and down, but you also have an element of the slide movement that we did before. So as your hip comes up, you also bring it outwards, so that in its widest expression, this movement is the equivalent of having done a slide like that out to the side. Slide. So then you would complete the movement coming upwards to the top of that figure 8 on one side, bring it down through center and into the other. So we talk about a figure of 8 with this movement, but actually it's more like an infinity sign, a never-ending 8 on its side. And whether you're traveling upwards and down or downwards and up, it's an ever flowing, cyclical flow of energy. Now, if you're enjoying this movement for releasing through your back and your waist and your abdominals, by raising your hands up overhead and allowing this lengthening effect through your waist, as the hip comes down, you can reach upwards, lengthen even further. You're going to get even more increased range of motion through the waist, the spine itself. So the more that you do this movement, the more that you can do this movement, your flexibility improves, the movement deepens. Now there's a tendency with this movement to start very well grounded, very rooted through your feet. But often what happens is that energy rises upwards, especially if you've been in your head, maybe had a busy day, lots of thoughts. You can end up almost, you feel your energy lifting upwards like this, and you're no longer so planted. So what we can do before we begin a movement like the figure of 8 is we can use a movement like a staccato hip drop, or maybe even a shimmy, and that's going to bring you right down into your body, right down deep, rooted round into the ground. And so let's have a little shot of that, and then we'll come back to this and see if you can notice the difference. Okay, so from here then we're going to drop through one hip and then through the other. So you're in your basic stance once again. Start with a little checklist down at your feet. and come upwards so that you know you have everything in alignment. You're not going to miss anything out that way. We can just gently elevate our arms out to the side. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy there. You're going to bend through your knees, one and then the other. The knee is the lever, dropping that hip down to the ground. 4, 3, 2, 1. Try a little bit faster, perhaps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Here we go, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo! See how it feels. Ah. Well done. Another one that's really, really good for grounding through your whole body. Already you'll be feeling a difference there. Suddenly, just as you move around, just have a little move around in your space. And as you do that, you become aware of different parts of your body. You might become now more aware of your feet. Oh gosh, I have feet. And so another movement we can do that's really, really grounding, but this one's also really amazing. Like, this is the best shimmy that I have found in my studies for boosting your immune system. It's a lymphatic drainage shimmy. And so we're going to bend and extend some of the way through the knee. So you're never fully extending through the knee. It's not right up here. It's soft, it's relaxed. And when I say it's relaxed, it's really relaxed. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your neck to relax. Your back. Your waist. Your belly. Your arms can just release down by your side here. And I want you to focus, each time that you come down towards the ground, really focus on that aspect of the movement. You might begin to feel your muscles release. You might begin to feel a little heavier as you relax. You can actually begin to come into quite a meditative state with this. It feels very soothing, and it is very healing. Wow, let's speed that up a little bit perhaps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice. And here we're focusing this over both feet. The weight is evenly spread between sides and front and back. Now let's have a little try of shifting your weight over towards one side. So here we're really utilizing one knee. You can stay with both feet if that feels better for you. If perhaps you have a knee which you're being very cautious and careful of. But otherwise, let's just try swaying our weight one side to the other and allow that knee just to free up movement there. Take it across to the other side. Wow, good. Doesn't that feel nice? Bring it back into center here. I want just to experiment here with shifting your weight forwards and back. So just very gently, we're gonna come forwards. It's just like an inch or two. It's not much, but it's enough to shift your weight. Really feel the balls of your feet on the ground. That connection to Mother Earth. Let's then begin to shift our weight back through center. And then ever so slightly bring your weight back. So you could effectively lift your toes up. But we want to maintain stability there. You could bring your hands out to the side if that helps you maintain that. Feel your heels press into the ground. And then bring that back into center. Now, all the way around the outsides of your feet. Into your heels. Your arches gently lifted, but the balls of your feet through each of your toes. We're not gripping onto the ground, but we're actively bringing our attention, our focus, our energy downwards. We're just gonna continue on with this for a moment. Free up your movement through your upper half now, and just play with that movement. You can make it smaller, or bigger, faster, or slower. Whee! Wow. Bring it down. Gradually returning into stillness and center. I bet you can't stop now. Gradually returning into stillness. Do you feel that? How rooted and connected, how grounded you feel? You probably feel very firmly planted. I just want you to take a moment to really observe that. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, let's bend through the knees. And now, let's have a little shot of that figure of 8 movement. So you're gonna slide diagonally down, bring the hip all the way up and out. Slide diagonal, up and round. We're going to stay with this movement here for a moment. We can make that a little bit faster. So in last week's session, we actually danced. This was a Patreon exclusive for our supporters and backers on there. All of our supporters are superheroes on Patreon. And we danced from the tractor shed with the horses in the background and the Scottish countryside. It was amazing. Very memorable class. We enjoyed bringing together lots of the movements that we've done in previous sessions, really dancing with those. So whether you were present for that one or if you have been enjoying all of the sessions that have been appearing on YouTube and via Patreon and Zoom, you'll remember that we started to bring in that element of traveling within our dance. And I want to just touch on that tonight, continue on that learning, that flow. One of the things that we said was that it's amazing to have all these gorgeous movements in your repertoire, but to be able to actually dance with them and transition from one movement to another, isn't that what it's all about? You can really fully, truly express yourself then in a way that you can't so much if you just have a series of movements that you know how to do, and you might know how to do them quite well, but if you can't really express yourself within your dance, then there's a whole side of this art form that will be missing. All right, let's bring that back into center. Just take a moment to note, did that feel different from the previous figure of 8 that we did before we came right down into body? So often I talk about, coming down from busy mind, sinking down deep into your body. This is what I'm referring to as really connecting with the earth, with Mother Earth. And we had an interesting conversation in class. I was at just last night, I think, talking about earthing, the benefits of planting your feet in the ground, in the earth, and just walking barefoot on the ground, and that ion exchange, incredible for well-being, physically and also psychologically. So here we go. Help yourself to a little spot of hydration if you would like one. You've probably been working harder there than maybe what you felt you were. So always a good idea to top up hydration. And then what I'll get you to do is come back in your space. Now you don't need a huge amount of space for this, but if you, well, let's use what we got, I guess. And so we're gonna start off. If you remember, I mentioned in a previous session that there are 3 main types of traveling, but let's focus on 2 for right now. One is a smooth, goddess-like hovering across the floor. And another is a very staccato, very folkloric, traditional style. It's more grounded, it's bouncier in a way at the same time. So first of all, let's just bring the hands out to the side. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're just gonna practice walking forwards without having an obvious change of gears. So your acceleration as you move is gorgeously steady. So if you were to look from the side, you wouldn't see a change in, wow, going so slowly. I always think that this is also a bit like driving. For me, when I learned to drive, it was always easier to go faster. I find this is the same. If you slow it right down, it requires minute muscle contractions, lots of control, that actually bigger movements require bigger muscle groups and often less control. Okay, well done. Let's bring that back. From here, let's add to that a slide of the hip. Are you ready? Here we go. Slide, slide, slide. Keep it nice and smooth. Slide, slide. Nice. Think about your alignment. Think about the shoulders. Keep them low. Chest is open and bright. Wow. Well done. Bring it back. You could make that big steps if you want to. If you need the space, you could travel around in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing that slide of the hip. It's definitely there. Let's try go backwards. Slide, 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 slide. And what I want you to try is a small but slow movement. Gliding across. You could lower your hands down by your hips and frame them. So this one is small and slow. Nice. Next, we're going to try big and fast. Keep it nice and smooth. Bring it back. Wow. Again. Here we go. Big and fast. Woo! Oh, it's so joyous. Nice. What other combinations could you think of for that movement? I'll let you have a play around with that in your own time. The next thing we're going to do is travel it out to the side. So you're going to slide as you step. And make sure as you return the hip, you turn it fully before you step again. Let's try the other direction. Here we go. This way. So we're going to slide as we step and slide as we step. So you don't just come back to neutral there. You're going to bring the hip all the way over to the other side. Try keep the hip line level, so you're going to bend through your knee on the other side as well. Lots to think about. We're going to slide, hip line is level, so there's an extra bend through the knee, and then you're going to come back in, pass through center, slide out to the other side. So we're going to slide together, slide together, slide together. Other side, let's try. We're going to slide as we step. Beautiful. We could take it diagonal. Maybe place one hand on the back of your head. So we're traveling diagonally. The hip is leading. Well done. Let's bring it back. Coming back on diagonal. Nice. Other side, all the way round, back diagonal. This way, slide together, slide together. So that's traveling it out to the side with a slide and on a diagonal forwards and back. Let's try that at speed, shall we? Woohoo! Let's give it a go. Ready? Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Diagonal forwards. 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2. Bring it back. 4, 3, 2. Other side. Forward. Bring it directly out to the side here. Wow. Other side. Forwards. Forwards. Back. Small steps. Wow. Into center. Help yourself to some hydration if you would like some. And then let's have a little look at a staccato movement with that. So that really earthy folkloric one. So think of grounding through your feet. I'm going to step, step. And we have got gear changes that are visible. So your acceleration is apparent. Bit faster, back, 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 back. You might have a little tiny bit of a bob of your height. That's absolutely okay. You might accent, you might actually boost the acceleration. That you might have a start-stop effect. That might be intentional style choice. Here we go. We're going to step, 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 step. Diagonal. Forwards. Now this is just dying to have a hip drop added, yeah? Here we go. Woo! Bring it forwards. Back. Out to the side. Ooh, I went straight into slide, isn't that funny? Drop, 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 drop. Again. Whee! Bring it forward, slide this time. And then drop, 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 drop. Wow. Coming into center. Amazing. Here we go. Drop, 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 drop. Step back. We're going to shift our weight onto the other leg. So you can directly step back, place your heel down, Lift the ball of the other foot. Suddenly you're ready on this side. Your weight is shifted. Make sure you're in alignment and then drop. Step back. Place that heel down. Lift through the ball of the other foot. I've taken a bigger step back here just so I can illustrate to you what I'm doing, but you might literally just step to here. So it's this kind of action here that enables that lift and the drop. As you change your weight from one side to the other, make sure that that level change goes with you. So you have whatever required bend of the knee. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up and then you're going to see the gear change there. All right, wow, 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 wow. What I like to do with that transition, actually, just whilst we're on that, what I really love to do with this transition is rather than just have this naked switch over here, which is absolutely okay and that can be very effective. But what I like to do is really add a little bit of extra beauty by just circling the foot all the way around. And when I do that, my weight is still on the same supporting leg. And I just bring the toe out in front, all the way around in front of me, bring it out to the side, and I place the foot behind, and I often then slide it in towards me, and then I plant the foot down. On the other side then, this side is the lead, I dance this side, and then I'm going to switch, I'm going to circle in front, out wide, bring it out to the side, and then I start to bring it in towards that foot again, plant, and change lead to the other side. Hopefully that helps you with transitions. That was absolutely gorgeous. Wow. We're going to take that a little bit deeper in the next class. Take a deep breath in, bring your hands up to the sky, nice wide stance. As you breathe out, your next breath out is going to bring you over to the side. Lengthen through waist. Back in through center. Take it to the other side. Into center here. We're going to bring one hand round. This time we're going to sink a bit deeper. You could bring that on diagonal. Bring it round towards the front, tuck your chin to your chest, and then gently unwind back to center, one vertebrae at a time, returning into center. On the other side, frame your belly, frame your face, leaning deeper in, coming into diagonal there. You can bring chin to chest as you come round towards the front, and gently unwinding one vertebrae at a time. Both hands down to belly. All the way up towards the sky. Take your hands wide. Tune in to the energy that you have harnessed for yourself within this session, and gift that energy to yourself wherever you feel drawn to do so. In your own time, one hand to heart space, one to life force energy space down below your belly button. Breathe with me here. And as you breathe out, coming back into center. Woohoo! Wow, thank you for sharing of yourself as you did. It's amazing to dance with you. Wow. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit notifications so you can be informed of when the next video goes up. If you'd like to support the creation of these videos, remember you can head along to patreon.com/Little Egypt Studio, where you'll find a community of other enjoyers of these videos. See you soon. Bye.